Welcome to the top 10 most anticipated and noteworthy comics for February 7th, 2024. I'm Mike Spider Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. Hopefully this list does help you make decisions on what comic books to buy, because you know what? It's never too early to start that pull list for next week. Before we get started, guys, I just gotta give a quick shout out to Whatnot. Guys, there is a link in my description box below. If you never used Whatnot before, make sure you use that link, create your profile. When you win that first auction, guys, you're gonna get a $15 credit. So if you're a collector of comics, if you're a collector of Hot Wheel cars, Star Wars action figures, whatever it is that you collect, you'll get a $15 credit, like I said. So use that link in the description box below and check out Whatnot today. All right, so here is the book that's on the hot seat, and to tell you the truth, I don't even remember buying issue 4, but this is issue 5 of The Call. This is written by Kelly Thompson. Now, this is a book where these kids went to some weird world, and they came back with all these like mystical, crazy powers, and the whole earth has completely changed. I liked the first few issues of this. However, I felt that the story progression was very limited, and I'm curious to see now where this story is actually going to go once these kids are back in their main Earth here. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous. This is a lighter week, in my opinion, for solid and real decent comic books getting ready to come out. So I put this on the list to see, you know, if it's there, I'll pick it up. So this is 32 pages. This is a $4 comic. Let's talk about the book that's on the rise and continues to get better for me. This is Superman 78, The Metal Curtain. This is issue 4. Metallo declares war against Superman and American soil. So we've seen Superman go against Metallo in previous issues, and it looks like Lex Luthor is going to be making his return in this comic book series. I think that's awesome. This has been a fun book. Issue 3 had a lot more story in it than action, which was good to progress the overall story. So I can't wait for issue 4, man. This has been a great read. I am sorry that I've never read volume 1 of this series. So kicking off the top 10, we have Wolverine Madripoor Nights. This is issue 1. So we have Claremont writing another, you know, X-Men series again. This time we're going to have Cap, Widow, and Wolverine together again. This is the return of the island nation of Madripoor. And this is obviously taking place during that time of like Uncanny X-Men issue 268. You know the cover I'm talking about, right? That very famous and iconic cover with Cap, Wolverine, and Widow on there. Yeah, cool. I'm going to check it out. I'm not expecting great things from this, but still, it's something worthy of checking out. This is 28 pages. This is $4. Coming in at number 9, you might be a little bit surprised this is lower on my list, especially since the success of Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1. This is Ultimate Black Panther issue 1. So I am a fan of Spider-Man. I'm not really a huge fan of Black Panther, so that's why I don't have like really high expectations for this one. So hopefully this one does surprise me and expand this Ultimate Universe a little bit more. And you know, again, we'll see what it has to offer. I don't have my high expectations. Like I said, 40 pages, $6. I have nothing else much more to say about that. Coming in at number 8, we have X-Men issue 31. I'm waiting patiently for this whole X-Men stuff to end, this whole Fall of X stuff, but there's been some issues with X-Men that Jerry Duggan has written that have been pretty solid, some better than others, some better artwork than others. The last issue was interesting at the last page when it came to Sync and Talon, which is the original X-23 that was stuck in the Children of the Vault. But my problem with X-Men is even with Resurrection Protocols done, they still could not kill off a character, right? It's just like, God damn, why can't someone just die, right? And I felt like Sync is just, again, he's overpowered in my opinion. There's like nothing that that dude can't do, right? And so, nevertheless, I don't know if this one has to do with anything that went on in that last issue, because here it's advertised that Nimrod is in this book. I like Nimrod as a character. I think he's pretty badass. It's just the mutant killer, right? So again, we'll see what happens here. This is 28 pages, and this one is $4. Moving on to number 7, a fun series here when it comes to a gang war tie-in. This is Daredevil Gang War. This is issue 3. This book is just in-your-face, explosive action. It's got a Laura 23 clone in it that was hired to take on Daredevil, which I think was really cool. And you got to see that fight happen, and you got to see a lot of like limbs being cut off in the last issue. It's just a lot of fun. So it's just a Hell's Kitchen, bloodthirsty criminal conspiracy going on. That's basically not much, but it's just a fun comic book read to me, and that's okay sometimes, right? Moving on to number 6, we have Pine and Miramax. This is issue 2 from Boom Studios. Kyle Starks is the writer of this one. I love this book. It's about a couple that have opened up a private investigation on this street corner of Pine and Miramax. And one's a former MMA fighter. One had a family tragedy, and that's why she became a private investigator. And they've taken on this case that they normally wouldn't take on, right? Because based off of our female character's history, but they took on the case, and now it's going to lead to something much darker going forward. I love the humor in this comic book in the first issue, especially the first few pages of it, and I love how grounded it is and how they really introduce the characters to get you to know the characters. Some private investigative or CSI type of books tend to be freaking boring and you don't care about the characters, but you care about them here, and that's what I liked about this one. So this one is going to be a $5 comic. Moving on to number 5, we have Batman. This is issue 142. The Joker Year 1 is revealed. It's written by Chip Zdarsky, and the artwork in this one is going to be done by Giuseppe Comicoli. His artwork is a hit or miss for me. It'll be interesting to see like how he draws Joker and everybody. He did a lot of Superior Spider-Man and Spider-Man stuff in the past, and like I said, it was hit or miss. But I guess we're going to be just learning more about the Joker, whatever we don't know about him yet, right? So hopefully Chip Zdarsky can write a pretty good Joker story, and this series continues to go on the up. This is a 40-page comic, $5. The legacy numbering is 907. Coming in at number 4, we have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is issue 3, as we get the continuation of a mysterious murder that has happened, and our lead bear character, you know, could be suspect, could be not. Very interesting series where it comes to living animals, you know, in their own town, own small town, and just murders are happening. I love this book. It's so good, man. It's a lot of fun, very interesting. A lot of people told me it reminds them of Dexter. I actually never watched that show. Should I watch it? So this book is 32 pages. This one is $4. Coming in at number 3, we have Power Rangers The Return. This is issue 1. This has got to be a surprise for you because I'm not a fan of this IP, right? And I'll tell you why I am not a fan of this IP. I was a huge fan of Voltron back when I was a kid. And when the original Transformers came out, and this is just a funny story, like I was at my girlfriend's house, and I think it was like my junior year, and like I was making out with her. And the funny thing is like we were watching this show, and I'm like, I was making out with her, and then all of a sudden Power Rangers come on. I like stopped, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I'm like, what is this cheap knockoff of Voltron? I was so pissed off. And let's just say the girlfriend at the time wasn't happy. But that's my little story, and that's how I got introduced to Power Rangers for the first time. Yeah, I just never was a fan of the series. I always thought it was just horrible. And there's a lot of people out there that love it, and you know what? That's awesome that you do love it, because at the end of the day, it's highly successful, right? But what attaches me to this particular comic here is that it's the return, okay? And this is taking place 22 years later, the team has been dismantled, and then this has to focus around the Pink Ranger, and this is actually written by the Pink Ranger himself or herself, which I think it was actually really cool. Amy Jo Johnson is her name, and she was the only reason why I went to go see the Power Rangers original movie, because she was in it, because I thought she was hot. So you learn a lot of stuff about me today about Power Rangers and stuff. But this sounds like it could be fun, man. I like seeing this. This kind of has that Last Ronin feel to it, right? So yeah, 32 pages, $5. There's the Power Rangers: The Return. I'm hoping it's good, man. All right. Coming in at number 2, we have Gunslinger Spawn. This is issue 28. This series has been so good. And it doesn't even matter who's the artist on here. But the last issue, we got to see Javier come face to face with an old friend, right? And that he saved. And we found out that his friend is no longer his friend anymore. And he's like this cyborg killing machine that reminds me of the Terminator. And he lifted up this gigantic, huge freaking tree and smashed him in the face with it. It was so freaking badass. I loved it, dude. It's such a sick series. I love this book. It's written so well, and I'm so looking forward to it. So 24 pages, $3. I'll be picking up Spawn again too as well. All right, guys, so here we go. Before we hit number 1, remember, we're going to be talking about the noteworthy comics. Again, some of these books that I talked about today might not be on your list, and you want to know more of what's coming out. So that's what the noteworthy comic books are for. So here we go. Number 1 goes to Thundercats issue 1. Long time in the making, guys. I think a lot of people are excited about this issue. I think this one is breaking some records when it comes to comic book sales. 32 pages, $5. Lion-O, the Thundercats, Snarf. All these guys are making their return here, and I just can't wait. I want to see how it stays true to the original cartoon series. Does it start off this way, and then how their adventures veer away from the actual TV series, right? I definitely am interested in Mumra and how he looks and what his motive is going to be. I'm totally excited about this comic book, man. Again, this is just a blast from the past for me. So yeah. Okay, so here we go. Noteworthy comics. Let's talk about them. Kicking it off with Marvel, we have Venom. This is issue 30. Book is weird right now, man. It's all over the place. Then we have Fantastic Four issue 17. Moving on, we have Jed McKay's The Avengers issue 10. I need some more real story progression to get this book back on my most anticipated again. Then we have Doctor Strange. This is issue 12. Moving on, we have Captain America. This is issue 6. We have the ever boring Sensational She-Hulk issue 5. And then we have a new Star Wars comic. We have Mace Windu, excuse me. This is issue 1. Moving forward to DC Comics now, we have Poison Ivy. This is issue 19. We have Shazam. We have Shazam. This is issue 8. I heard that the creative team is moving on to different things in a few issues here. Then we have Birds of Prey. This is issue 6. I am struggling right now, man. It's freezing in this garage. Then we have Red Hood, The Hill. This is issue 0. We have another new number 1 based off of the video game. This is Suicide Squad, Kill Arkham Asylum. This is issue 1. Then we have Kneel Before Zod. This is issue 2. All right, so now we have those indie comic books to talk about. We have Rogue Sun. This is issue 18. Then we have Conan the Barbarian. This is issue 7. We have the continuation of The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue 82. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it if you're reading it for your first time. Then we have this new series from Ram V, The One Hand. This is issue 1. And then for the video gamers out there, we have Dark Souls, The Willow King, issue 1. And there are all your most anticipated and noteworthy comics for the week of February 7th, 2024. And as always, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this book. I'm looking forward to hearing in the comments below what you're looking forward to the most that particular comic book week. And speaking of more content, guys, I got you more content right here for checking out. To check out, this is the After the Pull series, where I talk about most of the comic books I read for the current comic book week, except those new number ones. That one is called Worthy Ones, which I'll leave that one up here for you as well. So as always, guys, thank you for supporting the channel. Remember to support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but always remember, read your comics so we can have conversations like this. Guys, thank you so much. I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.